This video will be about molecular hydrogen magic and how it will help your cognitive abilities and gut health. So, as always, please consider to download this presentation as PDF file from the link in the description, and then you can get to access to scientific publications and learn more from the sources of information. And I will try to be as quick as possible to present this video. So, the human body is home to a sophisticated community of microorganisms known as microbiota, whose total weight is over 1 kilo. It is estimated that microbiota surpasses the human body in the number of living cells by tenfold. Most of these organisms in the large intestine, particular bacteria, contribute significantly to production of short-chain fatty acids with molecular chains consisting of 3 to 5 carbon atoms. Noteworthy short-chain fatty acids include acetic acid, propionic acid, butyric acid, and valeric acid. Acetic acid and propionic acids acidify the intestinal contents and stimulate peristalsis, which is a contraction of smooth intestinal muscles. Butyric acid, which is the main energy source for the intestinal epithelium layer, also contributes to intestinal acidification by releasing carbon dioxide from the epithelium cells when epithelium cells use it as source of energy. The resulting acidic environment impedes the growth of pathogenic microflora. These short-chain fatty acids can be produced in the colon by the bacterial fermentation of resistant starch, pectin and guar gum. The resistant starch, especially from natural potato and tapioca cassava starch, is the primary source of butyric acid. Inadequate levels of sulfur or short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyric acid, may lead to diseases of the large intestine, such as inflammatory bowel syndrome, constipation, colitis, and colon cancer. Short-chain fatty acids and medium-chain fatty acids with 6 to 12 carbon atoms, in contrast to long-chain fatty acids with 13 to 21 carbon atoms, readily traverse the endothelial cell layer of the intestine and are directly absorbed into the bloodstream through intestinal capillaries. The rapid conversion of these short-chain fatty acids into energy occurs primarily in liver cells. Also, other organs, notably brain, can utilize these acids, as well as ketones, which are produced by the liver from fat as an energy source. So here we see at a small, in this slide we see these short-chain fatty acids, which are mostly, as I said, acetic acid and butyric acid and propionic acid. Lactic acid is not so much presented because it is a result of metabolism of the cells. It is produced inside the cells in case of anaerobic conditions. Okay, here we see a schematical presentation how short-chain fatty acids go through the epithelium layer, and they are good. They are used as source of energy, but also we have gases such as methane and sulfur hydride, which is toxic, and they result in some inflammation. Okay, what else? I was talking about middle chain triglycerides, and this is you can get these fatty acids from coconut oil or from butter. Butter is the best source of this middle chain fatty acids, and coconut oil is not bad, but second. And what is problem? Sometimes you can buy MCT oil, which is which can be produced not from coconut oil, but it can be produced from palm oil. So it is lesser quality. So I would recommend to use butter instead. Long-chain fatty acids are absorbed by villi wall cells in the small intestine, converted into triglycerides within the cells, and coated with phospholipids, cholesterol, and proteins to form chylomicrons. These chylomicrons enter the lymphatic capillaries, ultimately reaching the subclavian vein near the thymus gland. Then chylomicrons transport lipids to adipose, cardiac, and skeletal muscle tissues, where some of the triglyceride components are hydrolyzed by the activity of the lipoprotein lipase, allowing the released free fatty acids to be absorbed by the tissues and used as source of energy, of course. Since the flow of lymph is slow, it takes up to 6 hours to convert long-chain fatty acids from food into energy. When chylomicrons and chylomicron remnants enter the liver, they can be repackaged into very low-density lipoprotein. So this is another vehicle which can transport these lipids, but of small size, of course. So here we see a schematic presentation of this chylomicron. This is the outside envelope, outside membrane, and inside we have these fatty acids, and we have the embedded lipoproteins. In the process of fermentation within the gastrointestinal tract, various gases are generated. The composition of these intestinal gases is characterized by the presence of nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide and methane. Notably, up to 15 liters of molecular hydrogen are produced daily from the fermentation of resistant starch. This molecular hydrogen efficiently migrates to the intestinal wall, enters the bloodstream, and exhibits antioxidant properties, effectively neutralizing reactive oxygen species by production of which are byproducts of aerobic respiration of the cells in condition of hypoxia. This antioxidative impact holds particular significance in conditions such as heart attacks and strokes, showcasing a notable therapeutic potential. Of course, these conditions are described as hypoxia and excessive production of reactive oxygen species, so the hydrogen will certainly reduce this, will work as antioxidant. Consuming more than 15 grams of resistant starch per day increases short-chain fatty acids and hydrogen production, concurrently reducing the generation of toxic hydrogen sulfide and methane in the large intestine. Tolerance to the intake of the resistant starch varies individually, with some individuals consuming up to 60 grams of starch per day without experiencing diarrhea or increased gas or flatulence. Such a dietary intervention facilitates the proliferation of beneficial bacteria while suppressing the development of harmful pathogens. Recent research suggests that short-chain fatty acids produced in the gut may mitigate Alzheimer's disease by reducing the formation of beta-amyloid aggregates, and intriguingly, the consumption of water infused with dissolved hydrogen stimulates production of short-chain fatty acids in the intestinal microbiota, potentially alleviating symptoms of neurodegenerative diseases such as of Alzheimer and Parkinson. Molecular hydrogen, characterized by its biological activity and multifaceted properties, it acts as antioxidant, anti-apoptotic, anti-inflammatory, cytoprotective, and signaling agent. So you can go to the reference and read more about this. The positive impact of inhaling air containing 2% of hydrogen on suppressing brain injury in rats, observed as early as 2007, was attributed to the antioxidant properties of hydrogen. Subsequent experiments on cell cultures confirmed the antioxidant effect of hydrogen dissolved in water. Various methods, including electrolysis, aeration under pressure, or immersion of magnesium metal powder in cold drinking water, can be employed to obtain water with dissolved hydrogen. Clinical trials conducted in Japan affirm the beneficial effects of hydrogen-infused water in treating diverse conditions such as skin disease, heart failure, stroke, Parkinson, and Alzheimer's diseases, diabetes, fatigue, aging, rheumatoid arthritis, periodontitis, and pneumonia in COVID-19 patients. Okay, here people sell like pills, which are powder of magnesium with some filler, and so it certainly can be used, but question is, do you need it or not? So because actually you can produce enough of hydrogen by fermentation of resistant starch, for example. A comprehensive literature review from January 2021, so you can read this review, enumerates a wide array of diseases and disorders where the positive effects of hydrogen have been observed. Pardon for this noise, my house is not so far from the road, and the people are speeding up, you know. Okay, molecular hydrogen can be introduced into the body either through inhalation of air mixes with about 2% of hydrogen, drinking water saturated with dissolved hydrogen, or by promoting hydrogen production in the colon. Notably, the use of antibiotics that suppress microbial hydrogen production have been linked to liver and intestinal damage. Molecular hydrogen demonstrates therapeutic efficacy in sepsis, yet the precise mechanism underpinning this impact remain elusive. Putatively, its effects may be attributed to its anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-apoptotic properties, the regulation of autophagy, and involvement in diverse hydrogen signaling pathways. Intraperitoneal infections of it is like injection with a cylinder to the mice, to the stomach and the guts of the mice, with this hydrogen water, with causal sepsis, inhibit notable mitigation of inflammation, neuronal apoptosis, and mitochondrial dysfunction in the brain. So it's again somehow interesting that a relatively low amount of free hydrogen, which can be released from hydrogen water to the bloodstream, it helps a lot. How it works, again, it is kind of mystery. Similarly, hydrogen administration proves effective in ameliorating cell damage, promoting mitophagy in macrophages, and suppressing acute lung injury in mice by activating mitophagy during induced lung inflammation and sepsis. In septic mice, breathing air containing 2% of hydrogen for 1 hour suppresses brain damage and enhances cognitive function by inhibiting oxidative stress, inflammatory responses, and blood-brain barrier dysfunction induced by sepsis. Moreover, hydrogen demonstrates its potential in alleviating sepsis-induced brain damage in mice. Okay, drawing from this in studies, it is inferred that daily consumption of resistant starch ranging from 15 to 30 grams and even up to 60 grams, provided it does not influence diarrhea, promotes healing of the epithelium layer of the intestinal walls through butyric acid production, and impedes the development of pathogenic microflora. Significantly, that up to 10% of the body energy needs can be met through the fermentation of resistant starch in the intestine. Simultaneously, butyric acid serves as additional energy source for the liver and brain. The concomitant release of molecular hydrogen can mitigate reactive oxygen species levels in the brain and stimulate mitophagy across the body cells. Enthusiasts may explore the production and regular consumption of drinking water saturated with hydrogen, for instance, by immersing magnesium metal powder in drinking water. This see the previous slide, that it is available, or you can maybe get this magnesium powder of this metal magnesium yourself, and or produce hydrogen by electrolysis. So it is easy, and it was very popular in Soviet Union, as I remember. Some people were drinking so-called good or living water, water saturated with this hydrogen. And this how this simple device was working. They just was using rectifier, electrical rectifier, and bottles, or I mean tanks with water, with maybe some salt and some bridge from wet tissue, and they were producing gas, hydrogen, and drinking this water. I didn't say any miracle, but they said it helps. So I don't know, maybe it is the effect of placebo. While the positive effects of hydrogen water have been demonstrated in numerous publications, the precise mechanism of its action on the body remain unclear. It's rational to question why the action of hydrogen produced in the colon from the resistant starch would not yield a comparable or even more significant effect than hydrogen water. So because water has not much hydrogen actually. After all, the release of molecular hydrogen in the intestine occurs in larger volumes and almost continuously. The same rationale applies to the inhalation of air mixtures with added hydrogen. If hydrogen is generated in the intestines and expelled from the lungs, the distinction between inhaling hydrogen from the air and its endogenous production becomes less evident. So again, I don't understand actually why people drink such hydrogen water, or they produce hydrogen to mix with air. I don't know why, but maybe it gives some improvement. But again, if you use resistant starch, then it probably should be better than inhalation of air with added hydrogen. Okay, notably, in the later case, the additional production of butyric acid available for full body occurs. Okay, again, I believe that every morning I take maybe 15 grams of starch, or maybe a little bit more some days. So, and I don't have any complications with this, so I just use it, and it is so cheap and so easy. Why not? So why not to use it? What is interesting? We have this hydrogen which is migrating from the core of our planet to the surface. And what is interesting, so with aerophoto pictures of the Earth, you can find somewhere sometimes such ring structures of in the places where hydrogen gets out. And honestly speaking, we have a farm here in Thailand, and I have such place in my farm. Yeah, so what is interesting, so that in the places where hydrogen jets emerge, they get visible. Why? Because it reacts with humus. So humus is just burning out. It is like it is producing CO2 and water instead. So it is turned out that outflowing hydrogen destroys humus organic matter. So, and in the place where it is hydrogen go out, it's nothing can grow. Actually, what is it? It is not poison certainly, but it is suppressing the growth of plants because they need some humus. So they need some humus. Also, in case of hydrogen release in the area of limestone deposits or coral reefs, deep up to 100 meters surface sinkhole can occur. This is pictures of the sinkhole which were in somewhere Central America, and this is some coral island, and so it is very deep. Sinkholes can occur. Interesting. But what is interesting, the Orthodox churches are often located in places which are saturated with hydrogen, with this flux of hydrogen from the core of our Earth. And it is so, maybe people feel better themselves breathing air mixed with hydrogen, or even when it gets to water, it's getting some better properties. So you can feel improvement of your health if you drink such water. Again, it's near, and normally it is just people feel themselves a little bit better in some areas, and then they use these areas to build the church, believing that it is kind of holy place, but it is a place where hydrogen just migrates to the surface. So hydrogen is important, I believe, and interesting gas, and as the divers are using some mixtures with hydrogen inside for better feeling, and also it improves well-being so it's good. But only the mechanism is not very much understood, because we produce a lot of hydrogen, up to 15 liters or maybe more if you consume a lot of this resistant starch. So why this hydrogen produced in your intestine should be in so big amounts, should be less efficient than breathing air for a while with hydrogen? So I don't know again, but you can try, and you can try the use of relatively large amounts of resistant starch, or maybe making this water saturated with hydrogen. So why not? Even this magnesium dust with water. I don't know. Some people, magnesium will react with water and produce magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide is okay if you take it. It will not make any harm to you. So it's okay, I believe. Okay. So sorry. Oh, sorry. Somehow it is very big. Okay, so just again, I'm not medical professional. I don't recommend anything. This is just for information purposes. And if you want to have some medical advice, you ask to medical professionals. My opinion may agree or not agree with official recommendations. I try to develop my own opinion on everything, and then I stay healthy. And I hope you enjoyed this video, learned something new. Maybe you want to try. And especially I would recommend regular use of resistant starch, because it is so easy, really. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to press like and bell button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and family. Again, I was already many times telling that my purpose is to extend my lifespan, my personal lifespan, indefinitely, maybe to a few hundred years, or let's see how it will work. And it works. It's not very easy, but again, if you do everything right, and then yeah, you feel a lot of energy, and you feel yourself quite good. One problem that rejuvenation of skin takes longer than improvement of your energy and improvement of your health, because, for example, I never get sick last 25 years, and I attribute it to my physical activity and proper food. And I highly recommend to start your day from butter and resistant starch and some drinks with maybe citric acid or lemon juice. Okay, that's all. Have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.